Let us begin by stepping away from the noise of the present. Close your eyes, if you have not already done so, and allow the immediate world to soften and fade. The glowing screens, the distant hum of traffic, the rigid lines of concrete and steel, the endless ticking of the human clock, let them all dissolve into the quiet dark. We are traveling backward through deep time, descending through the layers of the earth. We pass through the topsoil of our modern era, down through the gravels of the ice ages, past the buried sediments of ancient lakes, down into the warm, dark stone. Breathe in deeply. Feel the cool air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, release the weight of the day. You are entering a space of pure imagination, grounded in the meticulous truths of ancient geology. 66 million years ago, the Earth was a jewel of green and blue, wrapped in a thick, humid mantle of atmosphere. It was an ordinary morning in the Late Cretaceous period. The sun had risen over the western interior seaway, a warm, shallow ocean that split the North American continent in two, casting long golden shadows across endless forests of broadleaf trees, towering conifers, and ancient ferns. In the underbrush, the air was thick with the scent of damp soil, rotting wood, and the sweet, heavy pollen of early flowering plants. Life was abundant. Life was complex. Life was completely unaware of the heavens. But in the cold, silent vacuum of space, a mountain of stone and metal was falling toward the sun. To understand this traveler, we must look back billions of years to the very birth of our solar system. This 10-kilometer sphere of carbonaceous chondrite, rich in iron, nickel, and ancient silicates, was born in the swirling disk of dust and gas that predated the planets. For eons, it drifted in the dark, frozen reaches beyond Mars, a silent witness to the formation of worlds. Its path was dictated by the exquisite, unyielding laws of celestial mechanics. Every movement was the result of an infinite chain of gravitational whispers. The massive, majestic tug of Jupiter as it swept through its orbit, the gentle passing gravity of ancient comets, the slow, internal wobble of the asteroid's own asymmetrical spin. In the history that belongs to our world, this chain of cosmic interactions led to a specific, fatal intersection. In our timeline, the asteroid crossed the moon's orbit and plunged into the Earth's atmosphere at 20 kilometers per second. In our timeline, it slammed into the shallow, sunlit waters of the Yucatan Peninsula, striking a thick layer of target rock rich in gypsum and anhydrite. The sheer kinetic energy of the impact, equivalent to 100 million megatons of TNT, instantly vaporized the ocean and the bedrock, injecting billions of tons of atomized sulfur, carbon dioxide, and molten rock into the stratosphere. The sky burned, wildfires consumed continents, and then a suffocating shroud of dust and aerosolized sulfuric acid wrapped the globe in a multi-year winter. The sunlight failed, the plants starved, and the magnificent dynasties of the dinosaurs, who had ruled the land for 165 million years, were extinguished in a geological heartbeat. That is the story written in the thin, dark boundary of iridium-rich clay found in rock outcroppings all over our world. But tonight, we are unbinding that history. We are introducing a single microscopic variance in the grand ballet of the cosmos. Imagine that 3 million years before this fateful morning, as the asteroid drifted through the cold void, a rogue fragment of ice from the outer system passed just a few thousand kilometers closer to it than it did in our timeline. The gravitational interaction was minuscule, a mere sigh in the dark. But in the frictionless vacuum of space, a change in trajectory of a fraction of a millimeter, compounded over millions of years and billions of miles of travel, alters the destination entirely. The asteroid still approaches Earth. It still crosses the orbit of the moon, growing from a dim, nameless point of light into a jagged, rotating bulk against the stars. It still accelerates as the Earth's gravity well catches it in its inexorable grip, but its vector has shifted. It is arriving just 17 minutes earlier than it was destined to. 17 minutes along the Earth's rotational axis means the planet has turned just slightly less beneath it. The shallow, volatile shelf of the Yucatan Peninsula is still over the horizon. Instead, the asteroid targets the vast, deep expanse of the ancient Pacific Ocean. Listen to the sound of its descent. It enters the upper atmosphere, compressing the air before it into a blinding, white-hot shockwave of plasma. To a creature standing on the shores of ancient Asia or the western coast of the Americas, a second sun appears in the sky, streaking silently toward the horizon, trailing a thick column of superheated vapor. And then it strikes, but it does not strike the shallow, sulfur-rich stone of the continental shelf. It plunges into water 4 miles deep. The physics of a deep ocean impact are fundamentally, wonderfully different from a shallow continental strike. The asteroid penetrates the water column in a fraction of a second, converting cubic kilometers of seawater into instantly expanding steam. It slams into the basaltic crust of the abyssal plain, carving a crater into the ocean floor. But the deep ocean acts as a monumental buffer. The kinetic energy is largely absorbed by the displacement of water and the dense, non-volatile basalt of the seabed. A hypercane of steam and pulverized rock erupts into the upper atmosphere, but it lacks the billions of tons of climate-altering sulfur aerosols that would have reflected the sun's warmth for decades. Massive concentric rings of displacement form on the ocean's surface. Tsunamis, hundreds of meters high, begin their long race across the Pacific. But the Pacific is vast. As these monumental waves travel across thousands of miles of deep water, their energy spreads, diffuses, and begins to decay. By the time they crash against the distant coastlines of the Americas and Eastern Asia, they are catastrophic regional floods, stripping away coastal forests and drowning low-lying deltas. But they are not global destroyers. In the immediate aftermath, the sky darkens with steam and localized ash. A heavy, warm rain begins to fall, washing the particulates out of the air. The temperature drops slightly, perhaps by a few degrees, as the high-altitude cirrus clouds of ice crystals reflect the sunlight for a few weeks. But the fundamental mechanism of the biosphere remains intact. Within a month, the rains have cleared the skies. The sun breaks through the thinning mist, warm and golden. The process of photosynthesis, the engine of all complex life on Earth, does not falter. The leaves continue to drink the light. The roots continue to draw moisture from the warm Cretaceous soil. On the morning of the day that was meant to be the end of an era, a great male Tyrannosaurus lifts his massive head from the damp ferns of a Montana floodplain. He shakes the heavy morning dew from his neck. He blinks his large forward-facing eyes against the bright, unfiltered sunlight. He smells the familiar scent of damp earth, crushed foliage, and distant, living herds. He opens his jaws and releases a low, resonant rumble that vibrates through the soles of his feet, announcing his presence to the ancient territories. Nothing has ended. The great unbroken chain of Mesozoic survival stretches forward into an open, endless horizon. Dim your lights. Settle deeper into your pillows. Let the relief of this survival wash over you. We are about to step directly into their world, exactly as it was, to walk among them in the warm, green twilight of a history preserved. To truly appreciate the deep future of this alternative timeline, we must first strip away the distorted filters of human popular culture. Forget the drab, gray, lumbering monsters of old cinematic lore. Forget the barren, volcanic wastelands so often depicted in children's books, where stylized beasts roar mindlessly at apocalyptic skies. Let us construct the real world of the Late Cretaceous period, with the precision of modern science and the slow, immersive detail of a waking dream. Imagine yourself standing in the heart of what paleontologists call the Hell Creek Formation, 66 million years ago. You are standing in a dense, humid lowland forest, crisscrossed by slow-moving, muddy rivers that wind their way toward the great interior sea. The first thing you notice is the quality of the air. It is heavy, warm, and rich. The atmosphere of the Late Cretaceous contains significantly higher concentrations of carbon dioxide than our modern world, acting as a natural greenhouse that keeps the planet equable and warm from the equator to the poles. There is no permanent ice anywhere on Earth. The oxygen levels are robust, filling your lungs with a crisp, revitalizing energy. The air hums with the constant, multi-layered acoustics of life, the high metallic stridulation of ancient cicadas, the deep, rhythmic croaking of giant, primitive frogs hidden in the reedy shallows, the sudden sharp rustle of dry palmetto leaves as small creatures scurry through the shadows. Look up at the canopy. It is a stunning mosaic of old and new plant kingdoms living in complex harmony. Towering over the landscape are the immense, columnar trunks of ancient conifers, relatives of our modern redwoods, cypresses, and araucarias. Their evergreen needles filtering the sunlight into dappled pools of emerald and gold on the forest floor. Below them grows a dense mid-story of broadleaf trees, early sycamores, magnolias, and laurels, their wide, glossy leaves green with the vigor of uninterrupted growth. Festooning the trunks are thick, winding lianas and climbing ferns, while the ground is carpeted with soft, feathery mosses, liverworts, and low-growing flowering shrubs bearing small, pale blossoms. Through this vibrant, fragrant wilderness moves the undisputed monarch of the ecosystem, Tyrannosaurus rex. Let us observe this animal closely, as it stands motionless in the shadow of a giant bald cypress tree. It is a subadult female, measuring over 11 meters from the tip of her scarred snout to the end of her thick, muscular tail. She does not stand upright like a kangaroo, as early scientists imagined. Rather, her body is held horizontally, perfectly balanced over her hips like a massive predatory seesaw. Her weight, nearly 8 tons of dense bone, sinew, and hyper-efficient muscle, is supported by 2 columnar hind legs built for explosive, short-distance acceleration. Her skin is a masterpiece of natural camouflage. Along her broad back and flanks, she is covered in small, non-overlapping scales, patterned in muted shades of forest green, charcoal, and ochre, allowing her immense bulk to dissolve into the vertical shadows of the tree trunks. Running along the ridge of her spine, from the base of her skull down to her hips, is a sparse, bristling mane of coarse, filamentous proto-feathers, remnants of her smaller theropod ancestors, vibrating softly in the warm breeze. But it is her head that commands absolute awe. Her skull is nearly 1.5 meters long, constructed of thick, honeycombed struts of bone that combine maximum structural strength with surprising lightness. Her jaws are lined with over 50 curved, serrated teeth, some the size of large bananas, each one deeply rooted in the jawbone and constantly being replaced from below throughout her life. These are not the teeth of a delicate slicer. They are the tools of an ultimate bone crusher, powered by jaw muscles that anchor directly to the broad, flared vault of her upper skull. Her bite can exert a force of over 35,000 newtons, enough to shatter the femur of a giant herbivore with a single sickening crunch. Yet look at her eyes. They are not the dull, unfeeling orbs of a mindless automaton. They are large, golden, and set facing forward in her narrow snout, granting her exceptional binocular vision and depth perception that rivals that of a modern eagle. She watches the edge of the clearing with absolute, unblinking concentration. She breathes slowly, her ribcage expanding and contracting with a fluid, rhythmic grace. Thanks to a sophisticated avian-style respiratory system consisting of rigid lungs and a network of internal air sacs that extend even into the hollow cavities of her bones, her breathing is unidirectional and incredibly efficient, extracting oxygen both when she inhales and when she exhales. She is calm. She is calculating. She is perfectly adapted to her place in the world. A few hundred meters away, out on the open, sun-drenched floodplains, where the forest gives way to vast stands of prehistoric ferns and cycads, moves the great counterweight to the Tyrannosaur's power, a herd of Triceratops horridus. Listen to the deep, resonant sound of their movement. It is a low, collective rumbling of heavy footfalls, the snapping of thick fern fronds, and the occasional deep, grunting vocalization as individuals communicate within the group. A mature Triceratops is a living fortress, measuring 9 meters in length and weighing as much as a modern African bull elephant. Its body is low, wide, and heavily muscled, supported by short, incredibly stout limbs that terminate in broad, hoof-like claws. Let your mind trace the architecture of its magnificent head. Making up nearly a third of the animal's entire length, the skull of Triceratops is crowned by 3 formidable weapons: a short, thick horn rising from the nasal bone, and 2 immense polished brow horns, each over a meter long, curving gently forward and outward like the twin lances of a medieval knight. Extending backward over the neck and shoulders is a broad, solid frill of bone, bordered by small, triangular, bony projections called epoccipitals. This frill is not merely a shield. It is a dynamic canvas of living tissue. Beneath the keratinous sheath that covers the bone lies a dense network of blood vessels. During moments of territorial display, courtship, or thermal regulation, the animal can flush this frill with blood, transforming it into a vibrant, signaling billboard of color against the green landscape. Watch as an old female Triceratops feeds. She lowers her massive head, utilizing her narrow, parrot-like keratinous beak to cleanly snip bundles of fibrous cycad fronds and tough, low-growing palmettos. As she chews, we witness the internal marvel of her dental battery. In the back of her jaws, hundreds of closely packed teeth are arranged in vertical columns, functioning together like a self-sharpening pair of industrial shears. As the upper and lower batteries slide past one another, they slice the tough, abrasive vegetation into a fine pulp, ready for digestion in her massive, fermenting gut. The herd moves with a distinct social intelligence. The older, heavier adults walk on the outer edges of the formation, their great horned heads swinging in low, rhythmic arcs, constantly testing the wind for the scent of predators. In the center of the group walk the smaller, hornless juveniles, their skin patterned in disruptive stripes to hide them among the shifting shadows of their parents' massive bodies. They are safe here. They are part of an ancient, successful rhythm of collective defense that has kept their lineage secure for millions of years. But Hell Creek is not populated only by giants. Let us adjust our focus, zooming in on the intricate, smaller tiers of the ecosystem that fill every available ecological niche. Flitting through the lower branches of the sycamore trees are small, agile predators that look remarkably like modern ground birds. This is Dakotaraptor and its smaller cousin Acroraptor, Dromaeosaurs, fully clothed in complex pennaceous feathers. A male Dakotaraptor measures 5 meters long, his body sleek and lightweight, his long tail stiffened by interlocking rod-like bones to act as a dynamic rudder when running and leaping. His arms are long and fold against his sides like wings, terminating in 3 grasping fingers tipped with sharp claws. He stands upon a fallen log, preening the long, iridescent blue and black feathers of his forearms. He turns his head with quick, jerky avian movements, his sharp eyes scanning the leaf litter below. Suddenly, he freezes. His specialized second toe, carrying the famous enlarged sickle claw held off the ground to keep its tip razor-sharp, twitches slightly. With a silent, explosive leap, he descends into the ferns, pinning a large, primitive mammal, a possum-sized marsupial relative called Didelphodon, to the earth before it can reach the safety of its burrow. Nearby, browsing peacefully among the lowberry bushes, is a small group of Thescelosaurus, stout, bipedal herbivores the size of large sheep, their bodies covered in a thick, insulating coat of downy filaments. They are the deer of the Cretaceous forest, timid and constantly alert, ready to bolt into the dense underbrush at the slightest unfamiliar sound. And soaring silently above this entire magnificent landscape, casting fleeting, cross-shaped shadows across the sunlit meadows, are the masters of the Mesozoic sky, the giant Azhdarchid pterosaurs. Look up as a majestic Quetzalcoatlus glides overhead on thermal currents rising from the warm interior sea. It is a creature that defies our modern sense of biological scale. With a wingspan of 11 meters, equivalent to that of a small private airplane, it sails through the air with effortless, sovereign grace. Yet, despite its colossal size, this animal weighs less than 250 kilograms. Its skeleton is a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Its bones are paper-thin tubes of compact bone, internally reinforced by a microscopic lattice of crisscrossing mineralized struts, filled with buoyant air from its advanced respiratory system. Its wings are not constructed of feathers, but of a complex living membrane of skin, muscle, and internal structural fibers called actinofibrils, stretched from its elongated fourth finger down to its hind legs. It turns its immense spear-like beak toward the marshy lowlands, adjusting the tension in its wing membranes with microscopic movements of its specialized wrist bones to execute a smooth, descending turn. It will land on the open mudflats, folding its immense wings alongside its body to walk efficiently on all fours, stalking small dinosaurs, fish, and unwary mammals with the deliberate, stilt-legged patience of a giant marabou stork. This is the baseline of our journey. This is the authentic, complex, hyper-optimized reality of the world on the day the asteroid splashed harmlessly into the distant ocean. It is a world operating at the absolute peak of its evolutionary vitality. The dinosaurs are not weary relics nearing the end of their design. They are the supreme inheritors of the Earth, perfectly tuned to the rhythms of their environment. As the sun begins to dip toward the western horizon, painting the sky in deep shades of violet, rose, and amber, the diurnal creatures begin to settle into the sheltered groves. The great tyrannosaur finds a dry, elevated bank beneath a canopy of ancient pines, lowering her massive body to the earth with a long, contented sigh. The triceratops herd gathers in a wide, protective circle on the open plain, their heavy breathing creating a soft, rhythmic chorus that rises into the cooling evening air. Listen to the stillness. Feel the deep, enduring permanence of the stone beneath them. The day that never came has passed. The night is quiet, safe, and warm. Take a deep breath. Let your muscles relax completely. As we prepare to move forward into the unexplored tens of millions of years of their future, let your mind rest in the certainty of their survival. In the next part of our journey, we will watch as the world begins its slow, majestic transition into the Cenozoic era, tracing the beautiful, unexpected paths of evolution as these ancient dynasties encounter the dawn of a changing planet. Sleep peacefully, knowing the story has only just begun. Settle your shoulders back into the softness beneath you. Allow the steady, quiet rhythm of your breathing to guide you deeper into the stillness. The great mountain of spaceborne iron has long since vanished into the dark abyssal plains of the Pacific. Its ripples faded, its memory washed clean by the gentle Cretaceous rains. We have crossed the threshold of the boundary unbroken. We are stepping into the Paleocene, not as a desolate landscape recovering from ash and fire, but as a continuum of emerald and gold, stretching serenely across millions of unhurried years. 10 million years have drifted past since the day the asteroid missed. To the restless human mind, 10 million years is an eternity, a chasm of time that swallows mountain ranges and redraws the paths of rivers. But to the slow, deep heartbeat of the Earth, it is merely the turning of a page. If you were to walk through the ancient forests of North America or the island continents of Europe during this peaceful epoch, you would feel a profound sense of continuity. The air remains warm, thick, and sweet with the scent of living soil. The continents continue their imperceptible, majestic drift. India floats like a massive, detached arc across the ancient Tethys Ocean, inching ever closer to its eventual world-shaping embrace with southern Asia. The Atlantic Ocean slowly widens, unzipping the crust with a steady, quiet upwelling of deep basaltic magma. But while the stone moves with glacial patience, the green mantle of the Earth is experiencing a quiet, brilliant revolution. Throughout the late Mesozoic, the flowering plants, the angiosperms, had been humble pioneers, low-growing shrubs and opportunistic weeds, colonizing the disturbed margins of the great conifer forests. Now, without the catastrophic disruption of an extinction event, their steady upward climb accelerates into a magnificent radiation. They have unlocked one of the most exquisite strategies in the history of life, the invention of the fruit. Listen to the sound of a Paleocene forest at midday. It is a soft, layered rustling of broad, veined leaves stirred by warm thermal currents rising from the damp earth. The angiosperms have moved into the canopy, standing shoulder to shoulder with the ancient redwoods and monkey puzzle trees. Branches droop under the weight of heavy, fleshy rewards. Bright globes of crimson, orange, and deep violet, rich in sugars, waters, and complex nutrients. This is nature's ultimate negotiation. Consume this sweet flesh, carry the hard-shelled seeds within your sheltered gut, and deposit them far away in a rich bed of ready fertilizer. In our timeline, this arboreal bounty fueled the rise of the early primates, or distant, small-brained ancestors who took to the branches to harvest the fruit. But in this unbroken world, the canopy is already claimed. The animals best equipped to exploit this new vertical paradise are the small, agile descendants of the feathered Maniraptoran dinosaurs. Let us look up into the dense, sun-dappled lattice of a Paleocene fig tree. Moving with silent, fluid grace along a thick, moss-covered branch is a creature that seems half bird, half forest spirit. It is a derived troodontid, fully adapted to life in the heights, measuring no larger than a modern ocelot. Its body is wrapped in a dense, sleek coat of pennaceous feathers, patterned in brilliant shades of emerald, copper, and soft gray to blend perfectly with the shifting mosaic of leaves and sunlight. Observe its movements. It does not possess the rigid, upright posture of a perching bird. Rather, it uses its long, beautifully feathered tail as a dynamic counterweight, sweeping it smoothly from side to side to maintain flawless balance on the swaying limbs. Its forearms retain 3 distinct, highly mobile fingers tipped with deeply curved claws, allowing it to grip the bark with absolute security. It reaches out with its dexterous hands, plucking a ripe, soft-skinned fruit from a cluster. It turns the fruit over, examining it with large, luminous, forward-facing eyes that process the subtle ultraviolet spectrums of ripeness invisible to human vision. Its snout has evolved away from the sharp, serrated tooth rows of its predatory ancestors. Instead, the front of its jaws is covered by a neat, slightly hooked keratinous beak, perfect for slicing through tough fruit skins, while the back of its mouth retains small, peg-like teeth for mashing the fibrous pulp. This animal is not merely surviving. It is thriving with a quiet, complex intelligence. It lives in small, cooperative family groups that maintain distinct territories within the forest canopy. They communicate not with roars, but with an intricate vocabulary of soft, melodic trills, clicks, and visual displays of their iridescent crest feathers. As it feeds, it occasionally pauses, tilting its head toward the sky to watch the silent passage of a small forest pterosaur gliding between the emergent trunks. Down on the forest floor, the ancient relationships of the Mesozoic continue to refine themselves. The great hadrosaurs have adapted their spectacular dental batteries to process the changing foliage, their immense multi-ton bodies moving through the shaded understory like gentle grazing hills. The horned ceratopsians continue to diversify, some lineages growing more compact to navigate the dense broadleaf thickets, their frills evolving complex interlocking patterns of horn and bone used in slow, ritualized pushing contests that establish harmony within the herd without the need for fatal violence. Breathe in the tranquility of this Paleocene afternoon. The sunlight filters down in soft, visible beams, illuminating microscopic motes of pollen drifting in the quiet air. There is no urgency here. There is no struggle against a dying world. There is only the exquisite, continuous refinement of life finding new ways to flourish in the warm light. Let us allow our awareness to drift away from the green shadows of the forest, following the path of a wide, lazy river as it empties into the vast, glittering expanse of the global ocean. In the history we know, the end of the Cretaceous left the oceans silent and emptied of their greatest dynasties. The giant marine reptiles, the mosasaurs and plesiosaurs, vanished into the dark stone, leaving an ecological void that would remain unfilled for millions of years until small four-legged land mammals tentatively waded back into the shallows, eventually transforming over eons into the whales and dolphins of our modern seas. But look out across the sunlit surface of this alternative Paleogene ocean. The water is a deep, luminous cerulean blue, rolling in long, glassy swells that catch the bright reflections of the midday sun. The marine reptiles never left. They have spent the last 10 million years continuously perfecting their mastery of the liquid realm, evolving forms of such streamlined grace and staggering scale that they make our familiar. Cetaceans seem like late arrivals to an ancient realm. Dip your awareness beneath the surface. The water column is clear, warm, and thrumming with the low-frequency acoustic vibrations of giant life. Gliding effortlessly through the sunlit epipelagic zone is a family pod of advanced mosasaurs. Let your mind trace the breathtaking architecture of the lead female. She is a descendant of the Late Cretaceous, Tylosaurus, but millions of years of open ocean adaptation have transformed her into a creature of pure hydrodynamic perfection. Measuring 18 meters in length, her body has lost the elongated lizard-like proportions of her ancestors. She is thick-bodied and fusiform, shaped like a colossal, muscular torpedo. Her skin is smooth, velvety, and scaleless to the touch, covered in a microscopic layer of specialized dermal cells that reduce drag as she slips through the water. She is countershaded, a deep oceanic indigo along her broad back to blend with the dark depths below, and a pale shimmering silver along her belly to dissolve into the bright sunlight when viewed from beneath. Watch the effortless mechanics of her locomotion. She does not swim by undulating her entire body like a snake. Her spine is rigid and incredibly strong, serving as an anchor for massive blocks of internal muscle. Propulsion comes entirely from the rear third of her body, terminating in a spectacular crescent-shaped tail fin, a homocircle fluke supported by downward curving vertebrae that slices through the water with the silent, relentless efficiency of a modern tuna or great white shark. Her four limbs have transformed into stiff, hydrofoil flippers, used purely for steering and maintaining flawless stabilization in the three-dimensional currents. She is endothermic, truly warm-blooded. A specialized network of internal blood vessels acts as a counter-current heat exchange system, trapping the metabolic heat generated by her massive swimming muscles and keeping her core temperature significantly higher than the surrounding ocean. This internal fires grants her endless stamina, allowing her to cruise across entire ocean basins without resting. She swims alongside her calf, a miniature replica of herself measuring barely 4 meters long. Unlike their distant land-dwelling reptile ancestors, these oceanic sovereigns have no need to ever approach the dangerous shore to lay eggs. She gives birth to live young in the open sea, the calf emerging tail first into the buoyant water, instantly capable of swimming alongside its mother. The pod moves together with deep social cohesion, communicating through a complex matrix of low-frequency clicks and resonant, chest-deep pulses that travel for hundreds of miles through the dense, underwater layers. Let us descend deeper, leaving the bright, dappled sunlight of the surface behind as we enter the quiet twilight world of the mesopelagic zone. Here, where the water glows with a soft, ambient sapphire light, we encounter a fundamentally different masterpiece of marine evolution, the giant filter-feeding plesiosaurs. Out of the blue mist emerges a shape that seems almost celestial in its silent, sweeping geometry. It is a highly derived elasmosaurid. In the Mesozoic, its ancestors possessed small heads and incredibly long, snake-like necks used to dart into schools of fish. But evolution has repurposed this ancient architecture. Measuring over 22 meters from snout to tail, this creature has become the baleen whale of the reptile world. Its body is wide, flattened, and immense, propelled through the depths by the synchronous, subsurface flight of 4 immense paddle-like flippers. As the front flippers sweep downward, the rear flippers recover, creating a continuous, seamless generation of lift that allows the animal to hover in the water column with zero muscular effort. Its neck remains long, but it has grown thicker, heavily muscled, and completely rigid, supporting a massively enlarged skull. Watch as it feeds upon a dense, shimmering cloud of deep-sea krill and small, bioluminescent lanternfish. It opens its jaws, revealing not sharp, conical teeth, but thousands of long, incredibly fine, interlocking filaments of calcified tissue that line the margins of its mouth like a dense, living sieve. It accelerates gently into the center of the swarm, engulfing tons of water and prey in a single silent rush. With a slow, powerful contraction of its immense throat pouch, it forces the water out through the dental sieve, trapping millions of tiny organisms before swallowing them into its cavernous, efficient digestive tract. Small bioluminescent organisms drift past its dark, serene eyes like tiny falling stars. The ocean is completely devoid of the mechanical whir of human ship propellers, the sharp, fatal concussions of seismic air guns, or the suffocating drift of synthetic nets. It is a pristine primordial sanctuary. The great marine reptiles share these depths with ancient lineages of deep-sea sharks, coiled ammonites whose iridescent shells glow softly in the dark, and giant, soft-bodied cephalopods that jet silently through the abyssal canyons. Listen to the deep, slow-rolling rhythm of the sea. It is a lullaby older than the continents themselves. Feel the weightless, floating sensation of the water supporting your body, lifting away every ounce of tension from your limbs. The oceans are full. The oceans are complete. Let yourself drift on these calm, ancient currents as we rise back toward the surface, preparing to witness the world as it enters one of the most spectacular climatic transformations in the history of the Earth. Breathe in the warm, quiet air. Let your chest rise smoothly, and as you let the breath go, feel yourself sinking even deeper into a state of absolute ease. We are traveling forward now, crossing the invisible boundary between the Paleocene and the Eocene epochs. Arriving at a moment roughly 55 million years ago, the Earth is about to experience a grand planetary exhalation. Deep beneath the crust of the North Atlantic, immense plumes of mantle material are rising, baking the ancient carbon-rich sediments of the ocean floor. At the same time, along the continental margins, billions of tons of methane hydrate, frozen cages of gas and water buried in the cold, deep mud, begin to destabilize as the bottom waters warm. Within a span of time that is virtually instantaneous to a geologist, a massive pulse of carbon is released into the atmosphere. This is the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. Global temperatures surge by up to 8 degrees Celsius. The planetary thermostat is turned up to a level not seen since the hottest days of the age of dinosaurs. To the fragile, highly specialized mammals of our timeline, this sudden hothouse was a severe physiological crisis. Many lineages shrank in size, their bodies struggling to dissipate internal heat in a world where the tropical air burned like a furnace. But to the dinosaurs, this extreme warmth is not a catastrophe. It is a return to their ancestral baseline. They are the supreme architects of thermal management. Let us stand in the heart of an equatorial Eocene rainforest at the peak of the thermal maximum. The heat is profound, but it is not oppressive. It is a soft, all-encompassing embrace of absolute humidity. The air is so thick with moisture that every leaf, every trunk, and every fern frond drips with a continuous, gentle condensation. The sky above the canopy is a brilliant, hazy white gold, the sun's rays diffused by a permanent, high-altitude veil of warm water vapor. Resting in the deep, shaded understory beneath a grove of giant tree ferns is an immense herbivore, a late surviving titan of the sauropod lineage. It measures over 30 meters in length, its massive, pillar-like legs anchored into the soft, peaty soil. How does a creature of this staggering mass survive in a world without cool nights? The answer lies in the beautiful physics of gigantothermy and internal space. Because of its colossal volume relative to its surface area, this animal's internal temperature changes with absolute, glacial slowness. It acts as a massive thermal reservoir. During the hottest hours of the day, it does not labor to cool itself by sweating or panting, mechanisms that would rapidly deplete its vital water reserves. Instead, it simply absorbs the ambient heat into its immense bulk, its core temperature rising by only a fraction of a degree. Furthermore, let us look inside its magnificent, long-necked frame. More than half of the volume of its neck and torso does not consist of heavy, heat-generating tissue. It is composed of an intricate system of hollow, interconnected air sacs lined with thin, moist membranes. As the animal breathes, long, slow, immense inhalations that draw air through its nostrils with a sound like wind rushing through a cavern. This internal pneumatic highway acts as a highly efficient radiator. Heat is drawn directly from its deep core tissues and exhaled silently into the humid air. Watch as it stands perfectly still, its long tail draped across the damp moss. Small, brilliantly colored pterosaurs perch along the ridge of its broad back, using their long beaks to glean parasitic ticks and insects from the thick, leathery creases of its skin. It is a living mountain, completely at peace with the fires of the Eocene sun. But to witness the most extraordinary manifestation of this hothouse world, we must travel to the very ends of the Earth, to the North Pole. Forget the barren, howling waste of white ice and freezing darkness that define the Arctic in our human present. 55 million years ago, the North Pole is a dense, swampy paratropical rainforest. Because the Earth's axis is still tilted, this region experiences months of continuous summer daylight, followed by months of soft, warm winter twilight. But the temperature rarely, if ever, drops below freezing. Imagine floating along the calm, mirror-smooth waters of an Eocene Arctic estuary. Lining the banks are dense forests of broad-leaved deciduous conifers, metasequoias and swamp cypresses, their roots submerged in the warm, dark water. Giant water lilies with leaves the size of dining tables float on the surface, while the air is filled with the sweet, heavy scent of blooming magnolias and ancient lotus flowers. Basking on the muddy banks beneath the warm, constant light of the polar sun are giant crocodilians, measuring over 6 meters long, living side by side with soft-shelled turtles and primitive, long-snouted river dolphins that are actually highly specialized, semi-aquatic dinosaurs. Emerging from the dense fern thickets is a family of northern ceratopsians. They have adapted beautifully to the unique lighting conditions of the polar forest. Their eyes are exceptionally large, capable of gathering the faint ambient light during the long winter twilight. Their bodies are covered in a sparse, bristling coat of hollow quills that provide just enough insulation during the cooler months, without causing them to overheat during the endless summer days. They wade into the warm shallows, their broad, keratinous beaks cropping the rich, succulent water plants. The juveniles splash playfully in the calm water, their soft, high-pitched calls echoing through the quiet groves. There is no threat of approaching glaciers. There is no biting frost to wither the leaves. The entire planet is a continuous, unbroken garden of green, sustaining life in effortless, absolute abundance. As the long golden Eocene day slowly transitions into the soft violet hues of the polar night, the forest settles into a profound velvety quiet. The air remains warm, wrapping around you like a heavy, comforting quilt. Listen to the gentle lapping of the estuary water against the ancient cypress roots. Hear the deep, slow exhalation of the giant sauropod, sleeping thousands of miles away in the equatorial shade. Everything is resting. Everything is exactly where it is meant to be. Allow your mind to release the final threads of the waking world. Let yourself sink into the warm, secure darkness of this ancient hothouse paradise. In the next part of our journey, we will watch as the Earth slowly begins to turn its internal thermostat down, tracing the beautiful, heroic adaptations of these magnificent creatures as the endless forests begin to open, giving rise to the Great Plains and the first crisp winds of the global cooling. Rest deeply. The ancient world is watching over your sleep. Let your awareness rest gently within the quiet space you have created. Feel the comforting weight of your body sinking downward, perfectly supported, perfectly secure. The endless, shimmering white gold days of the Eocene hothouse are slowly softening behind us, dissolving into the cool gray mists of deep geological time. We are traveling forward, traversing millions of years with the effortless grace of a drifting cloud, arriving at a pivotal threshold in the history of the Earth. The Eocene-Oligocene transition, roughly 34 million years ago. Listen closely to the changing acoustic of the world. Beneath the steady, familiar rustle of the broadleaf canopies, a new sound is beginning to gather. It is a low, persistent sigh, the sound of a crisp, cooling wind sweeping across vast, newly opened expanses of ocean. The great planetary engine is shifting its gears. For over 150 million years, the southern continent of Antarctica had been a warm, vibrant anchor at the bottom of the world. It was linked to the southern tip of South America by a narrow, mountainous land bridge, and to Australia by vast, shallow continental shelves. Warm, tropical currents from the equator were able to sweep southward along these coastlines, bathing the high southern latitudes in equable, life-sustaining warmth. Dense forests of southern beech and ancient ferns covered the Antarctic interior, echoing with the calls of unique, high-latitude dinosaurian communities. But the unyielding dance of plate tectonics knows no sentimentality. Deep beneath the ocean floor, the massive crustal plates carrying South America and Antarctica begin to pull apart. With the slow, unimaginable power of planetary mechanics, the final mountainous tethers snap. The Earth unzips the crust, opening a profound deep-water channel known as the Drake Passage. At the same time, thousands of miles away, the Australian continent continues its long northward trek, widening the deep, cold waters of the Tasman Gateway. Antarctica is severed. It becomes a solitary drifting island at the absolute nadir of the globe. Let your mind visualize the exquisite fluid dynamics of this separation. Deprived of land barriers, the immense, furious westerly winds of the Southern Ocean begin to drive the surface waters in a continuous, uninterrupted loop around the isolated continent. This is the birth of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, the largest, most powerful ocean current on Earth. It acts as a colossal liquid barrier, a thermal moat that completely blocks the warm, tropical surface waters from ever reaching the Antarctic shores. Breathe in the sharp, clean scent of this ancient polar transformation. As the warm currents are turned away, the temperature of the Southern Ocean plummets. For the first time since the earliest days of the Mesozoic, microscopic crystals of fresh ice begin to form on the surface of the dark polar sea. They gather into delicate, interlocking sheets of fragile ice, thickening into pancake ice that rises and falls with the heavy, rhythmic breathing of the southern swells. On the continent itself, high in the interior mountain ranges, the winter snows no longer melt during the brief, cool summers. The white mantle deepens year by year, compressing under its own immense weight into dense blue glacial ice. The ice sheets begin their great, creeping descent toward the sea. They reflect the sun's light back into space, initiating a planetary feedback loop that cools the entire globe. The deep ocean basins fill with heavy, near-freezing water sinking from the polar shelves, fundamentally altering the thermal circulation of the world. The long, golden summer of the greenhouse Earth is drawing to a close. The great planetary thermostat has been dialed down, and the world is awakening to the crisp, invigorating reality of the ice. Yet, as the chill settles over the high latitudes, let us observe the exquisite, unpanicked response of the biosphere. Evolution does not view the cold as a tragedy. It views it as a magnificent, untrodden canvas. Settle deeper into the quiet rhythm of your breath. Inhale slowly, drawing the cool, soothing air deep into your center, and exhale with a long, slow release, letting go of any lingering tension in your brow, your jaw, your shoulders. We are moving across the changing landscapes of the early Oligocene, watching as the green mantle of the Earth responds to the shifting breath of the sky. As global temperatures moderate and the vast oceans lock millions of cubic kilometers of water into the expanding polar ice caps, the atmosphere becomes drier. The heavy, continuous tropical rains that once blanketed the continents from coast to coast begin to concentrate along the equatorial belts and coastal margins. In the vast continental interiors of North America and Eurasia, precipitation patterns shift from continuous downpours to distinct, seasonal rhythms. Watch the slow, beautiful transformation of the forest. The continuous pole-to-pole umbrella of ancient broadleaf trees begins to fragment. The dense, suffocating jungles of the interior lowlands slowly give way to open, sunlit, temperate woodlands. The giant sycamores and magnolias retreat toward the permanent river valleys, leaving vast tracts of upland soil open to the sky. In their place rise hardy, drought-tolerant communities of early oaks, maples, and birches. Deciduous trees that have mastered the art of shedding their leaves to conserve moisture during the crisp, dry winters. Between the scattered groves, broad meadows of tough, low-growing ferns, scrubby heather, and early herbaceous ground covers spread like a soft green carpet across the rolling hills. This is the birth of the forest edge, one of the most dynamic, biologically productive ecotones in the natural world. And moving through these sunlit clearings are the superb, winter-adapted descendants of the ancient dinosaurian dynasties. Let us pause at the edge of a late Oligocene woodland in ancient Central Asia. It is early morning. A pale, silvery winter mist clings to the low hollows, and the ground is dusted with a delicate, sparkling layer of hoarfrost that catches the first low rays of the rising sun. The air is still, crisp, and utterly silent. Out of the gray mist emerges a silhouette that is at once wonderfully familiar and breathtakingly new. It is an advanced, cold-adapted ceratopsian, a magnificent beast we might call Boreoceratops. Trace the powerful, compact architecture of this animal as it steps confidently onto the frosted grass. Following the implacable logic of Bergmann's rule, which dictates that warm-blooded animals evolve larger, more massive bodies in cooler climates to minimize heat loss, this creature is a true giant of its era. Standing over 3 meters at the shoulder and weighing nearly 10 tons, its torso is exceptionally broad and barrel-shaped, housing immense fermentation chambers and thick layers of subdermal fat that insulate its deep core from the winter chill. But look at its skin. It has shed the naked, leathery hide of its tropical ancestors. Covering its entire body, from the base of its heavy skull down to its sturdy hooves, is a dense, multi-layered coat of modified epidermal structures. Beneath a coarse, shaggy outer layer of long, bristle-like quills that shed the winter sleet lies a thick, velvety undercoat of downy, hollow filaments, nature's ultimate thermal fleece, trapping a layer of warm air directly against its skin. It is colored in muted shades of winter gray, charcoal, and pale birchbark white, allowing its immense bulk to blend seamlessly into the frosted, leafless thickets. Its magnificent head has evolved for absolute functional efficiency in a seasonal world. The extravagant, sweeping brow horns and expansive, paper-thin display frills of its Cretaceous forebears have been replaced by robust, practical structures. Its nasal horn is short, thick, and blunt-tipped, used to shovel away deep drifts of winter snow to uncover the dormant vegetation below. Its frill is thick, heavily vascularized, and tightly framed against its neck, minimizing the surface area exposed to the biting wind, while still serving as a dynamic thermal radiator during the warm, summer months. Watch as it breathes. A thick white plume of condensed vapor erupts from its wide nostrils, hanging in the still, freezing air before slowly dissolving into the mist. It lowers its heavy, keratinous beak, cleanly snapping the frost-brittle stems of tough upland shrubs and low-growing saplings. Its advanced dental batteries grind the fibrous material with a slow, powerful, unhurried cadence, a rhythmic, soothing sound that vibrates through the quiet grove like the turning of an ancient millstone. It is joined by several others, a cohesive, multi-generational herd moving together for mutual warmth and protection. The juveniles walk close to their mother's shaggy flanks, their small bodies insulated by an exceptionally thick, woolly coat of pale down. They do not shiver. They do not suffer. They are perfectly, masterfully equipped for the turning of the seasons, living testaments to the absolute, unyielding versatility of their lineage. Allow your awareness to drift upward, rising above the frosted canopies of the winter woodland, to look out across the vast, expanding horizons of the Oligocene landscape. Feel the sense of boundless, open space stretching away in every direction beneath a wide, pale blue sky. As the forests continue their slow retreat, the fundamental rules of survival are rewritten. In the deep, shadowy confines of the dense jungle, life was a game of vertical concealment, sudden ambush, and close-quarters maneuverability. But out here, on the open plains and scattered parklands, the curtains have been drawn back. There is nowhere to hide. To survive in this sunlit theater, an animal must master new strategies, the absolute clarity of long-distance vision, the safety of collective numbers, and the pure, unadulterated mechanics of sustained speed. Let us focus our gaze upon a wide grassy savanna dotted with solitary acacia-like legumes. Moving across the sun-drenched plain in a fluid, synchronized wave is a large flock of derived ornithomimosaurs, the supreme cursorial pioneers of the open world. Observe the breathtaking elegance of their design. These are animals built entirely for the open horizon. Measuring 4 meters from beak to tail, their bodies are exceptionally lightweight and streamlined, balanced upon incredibly long, slender hind legs powered by dense, high-tensile muscles anchored to their hips. Their feet terminate in 3 long, shock-absorbing toes tipped with blunt, hoof-like claws, designed to strike the hard, dry earth with minimal friction and maximum elastic energy return. Their necks are exceptionally long, slender, and flexible, held upright like living periscopes above the tall grass. Crowning these elegant necks are small, lightweight skulls dominated by massive lateral eyes. These eyes grant them a near-panoramic, 360-degree field of view, allowing them to monitor the distant horizon for the slightest hint of movement, while simultaneously scanning the ground for seeds, insects, and small reptiles. Watch their behavior as they forage. They move with a delicate, jerky, avian grace, their long, beautifully feathered tails held parallel to the ground to maintain flawless equilibrium. Their bodies are clothed in smooth, contour-fitting pennaceous feathers that reduce aerodynamic drag to an absolute minimum. Suddenly, the lead female, an experienced, vigilant matriarch, detects a subtle disturbance in the distant tree line. She utters a sharp, staccato alarm call, a clear, resonant whistle that cuts through the quiet air. Instantly, the entire flock reacts as a single collective organism. They do not scatter in chaos. They wheel and pivot in perfect, fluid harmony. Their movements coordinated by split-second visual cues, transmitted through the flashing white display feathers of their wing-like forearms. With an effortless, explosive acceleration, they reach speeds exceeding 70 kilometers per hour. They skim across the plain like a low-flying cloud of copper and gold, their footfalls creating a soft, rhythmic drumming that fades into the distance, leaving nothing but a gentle swirl of dust in their wake. But where there are swift runners, evolution inevitably sculpts the perfect pursuit machines. Emerging from the shadow of the distant tree line is a pack of advanced mid-sized tyrannosauroids. In the dense forests of the Mesozoic, their massive ancestors relied on absolute, crushing stealth to ambush prey from the cover of giant ferns. But these Oligocene hunters have adapted to the demands of the open chase. Let your mind trace their lean, athletic silhouettes. Measuring 7 meters in length, their bodies have lost the immense, heavy-set bulk of the classic Tyrannosaurus rex. They are narrow-chested and deep-lunged, their legs exceptionally long relative to their body mass. Their skulls are lighter, more aerodynamically sculptured, with jaws built for delivering rapid, slicing, bloodletting bites rather than single, bone-crushing impacts. They are social predators operating with a sophisticated, highly coordinated pack intelligence. As they track the distant cursorial herds, they do not exhaust themselves in futile, solitary sprints. They trot across the plain in a loose, strategic formation, their breathing deep, steady, and perfectly synchronized. They utilize complex relay tactics, one pair of hunters driving the prey forward at a sustained, exhausting pace, while other members of the pack rest on the flanks, ready to intercept the weary targets when they attempt to turn. Their brains have expanded to process the intense demands of open-world navigation and social strategy. The regions of their cerebral cortex dedicated to spatial memory, communication, and collective decision-making are exceptionally well developed. They communicate across the vast distances not with loud roars that would alert their quarry, but with subtle, low-frequency infrasonic rumbles, deep, seismic pulses that travel through the hard earth, felt by the sensitive pads of their feet. Listen to the absolute harmony of this open ecosystem. It is a flawless, dynamic equilibrium of speed, intelligence, and sensory awareness, playing out beneath the grand, unblinking vault of the sky. The sun begins its slow descent, casting incredibly long purple shadows across the golden plain. The daytime winds soften to a gentle, cooling breeze that whispers through the dry seed heads of the early meadows. The swift runners settle into the open depressions, their long necks tucked peacefully beneath their feathered arms. The pack hunters gather on a low, rocky rise, their sleek bodies pressed together as they watch the final brilliant colors of the twilight fade into the deep, quiet indigo of the night. Feel the profound, unshakable peace of this ancient evening. The world has opened its arms to the horizon, and life has answered with breathtaking grace. Let your breathing slow even further, matching the deep, tranquil rhythm of the resting earth. Release every thought, every image, allowing yourself to float gently on the dark, secure currents of sleep. In the next part of our journey, we will cross into the grand expanse of the Miocene epoch, tracing the true, explosive conquest of the planet by the grasses, and watching as the dinosaurian mind reaches new heights of complexity in a world transformed. Rest completely. The ancient stars are shining over your quiet rest. Let your breath slow. Let your body sink deeper into stillness, as if you were a stone settling into the soft bed of an ancient river. We are crossing the threshold into the Miocene epoch, roughly 23 million years ago, a time when a humble family of plants would rewrite the rules of life on land, grass. It begins as a whisper, a thin, unassuming blade pushing through the cracks of the retreating forests, along the edges of rivers where the soil is disturbed by flooding. But this is no ordinary plant. Grass grows from its base, not its tip. You can burn it, trample it, graze it to the roots, and it will rise again. Its leaves are laced with silica, tiny shards of glass that wear down the teeth of anything foolish enough to eat it. It is the ultimate survivor, tough, resilient, and endlessly renewable, and it is about to conquer the world. As the global climate continues its slow cooling trend, the great forests of the Eocene begin their steady retreat toward the equator. The continental interiors grow drier, the rains come less frequently. The towering canopies of broadleaf trees, which once stretched unbroken from pole to pole, now cling only to the river valleys and coastal margins. In their place, something new emerges, the grasslands. Imagine standing at the edge of this transformation. Before you stretches a sea of gold and green, waving gently in the wind like the surface of a living ocean. The air smells of warm earth, of crushed stems, of the sharp, sweet scent of flowering grasses releasing their pollen into the breeze. The horizon is vast, unbroken, no longer a wall of trees, but an endless sunlit plain. This is the birth of the savanna, and with it comes a fundamental shift in the rules of survival. In our world, the rise of the grasslands forced the evolution of an entirely new kind of herbivore. Mammals like horses, antelope, and bison developed high-crowned, hypsodont teeth, molars that grow continuously throughout their lives. compensating for the relentless abrasion of silica-rich grass. Without this adaptation, their teeth would wear down to useless nubs within months, dooming them to starvation. But in this world, the dinosaurs face the same challenge, and they answer it with the same solution. Let your gaze fall upon a herd of Miocene ceratopsians, the descendants of the great Triceratops lineages. They have changed. Their bodies are leaner, built for endurance rather than sheer bulk. Their legs are longer, their chests deeper to house the massive lungs needed for sustained running across open terrain. But it is their heads that have undergone the most extraordinary transformation. Gone are the short, shearing jaws of their forest-dwelling ancestors. In their place are elongated, deep skulls housing ever-growing dental batteries, rows of interlocking teeth that slide forward continuously, replacing worn crowns with fresh, sharp surfaces from below. Their beaks have widened, flattened, becoming broad, chisel-like blades capable of cropping grass cleanly at the base. They no longer browse on soft leaves and tender shoots. They are grazers, living lawnmowers that process vast quantities of tough, fibrous vegetation with mechanical precision. Watch as a mature bull lowers his head to the earth. His horns, once elaborate, sweeping displays, have shortened, thickened, becoming blunt, forward-curving weapons for sparring with rivals. His frill, once a delicate fan of bone, has reduced to a sturdy, muscular anchor for the massive jaw muscles needed to power his grinding dentition. He chews with a slow, rhythmic motion, his powerful neck swinging side to side as his dental batteries slice through the silica-laced stems. The sound is a deep, steady crunch crunches, like the turning of a great stone mill. Around him, the herd moves in a loose, fluid formation. They are no longer the tightly clustered groups of the forest, where safety came from the impenetrable thickets. Here, in the open, their survival depends on vigilance. Heads rise and fall in a rolling wave as they graze, each individual scanning the horizon before bending to feed. Their ears, once small, scaled flaps, have grown larger, more mobile, capable of swiveling independently to pinpoint the direction of a distant sound. Their eyes, set wide on the sides of their skulls, grant them nearly 360-degree vision, a living panorama of the endless plain. And they are not alone. Moving through the tall grass in a fluid, rippling line are the Cornithomimosaurs, the ostrich dinosaurs, now fully adapted to life as the swift, elegant gazelles of this world. Their bodies are built for pure, effortless speed. Long, slender legs terminating in single, padded toes, lightweight, hollow bones reinforced with internal struts, feathers streamlined into smooth, aerodynamic contours. They no longer browse on leaves and fruits. They are omnivores of the open country, feeding on grass seeds, insects, small reptiles, and the occasional carrion left behind by larger predators. Their necks are impossibly long, held upright like periscopes as they move. Their eyes are enormous, capable of detecting the slightest movement at extreme distances. When they run, they do not gallop like a horse, boundest, both feet leaving the ground simultaneously in great floating leaps, their balance maintained by the precise counterweight of their stiff, feathered tails. They can reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour, fast enough to outpace any predator that relies on brute strength alone. But speed is not their only defense. Like the antelope of our world, they have evolved herd intelligence. They move in groups of 20 or 30, their bodies pressed close together, their heads turning in unison at the slightest disturbance. If one detects danger, it does not flee alone. It freezes, its body tensing, its feathers flattening against its sides. The alarm ripples through the herd in an instant, a silent electric pulse. Then, as one, they explode into motion, their long legs flashing as they vanish into the shimmering heat haze. Where there are swift prey, evolution inevitably sculpts smarter predators. Emerging from the distant tree line is a pack of derived tyrannosauroids, the descendants of the great Tyrannosaurus rex, now fully adapted to the demands of the open hunt. They are no longer the massive, bone-crushing giants of the Cretaceous. They are leaner, faster, and far more intelligent. Observe their movements. They do not lumber. They trot, their bodies held low to the ground, their long tails swinging like metronomes to maintain perfect balance. Their forelimbs, once vestigial, have regained some of their ancestral dexterity, not for grasping prey, but for communication. They use their clawed hands to make subtle, deliberate gestures. A raised palm to signal a halt, a flick of the wrist to direct a flanker into position. Their skulls are narrower, their jaws lined with slicing teeth, rather than bone-shattering fangs. They do not kill with a single crushing bite. They kill through attrition, a series of rapid, precise slashes that open veins and tendons, followed by a patient, relentless pursuit. Their brains are larger, their cerebral cortices folded into complex gyri that process spatial memory, social hierarchy, and predictive strategy. They hunt in coordinated packs, not out of desperation, but because cooperation is the most efficient way to bring down prey many times their size. Watch as the alpha female, her flanks scarred from past battles, leads the group in a slow encircling stalk. She does not charge recklessly. She waits. She calculates. She communicates with a series of low vibrating infrasonic rumbles. Sounds too deep for human ears but felt through the soles of the feet, traveling kilometers through the hard earth. When the moment is right, the pack strikes as one. The lead hunters drive the herd toward the waiting ambush. The flankers cut off escape routes. The youngest, fastest members harry the prey from behind, forcing it to exhaust itself in frantic, zigzagging sprints. And when the target finally stumbles, when its legs falter, when its breath comes in ragged gasps, the alpha moves in for the kill. But they are not the only hunters in this world. Moving through the tall grass with eerie, silent precision are the Dromaeosaurids, the raptors, now fully evolved into the wolves of the Miocene plains. They are smaller than the tyrannosauroids, but what they lack in size, they make up for in speed, endurance, and sheer relentless intelligence. Their bodies are built for permanent hunting. They do not rely on ambush. They rely on exhaustion. They will chase their prey for hours, sometimes days, running it into the ground through sheer unyielding determination. Their lungs are enormous, their hearts powerful, their legs built for marathon sprints rather than short bursts of speed. They hunt in large, highly organized packs, communicating with a complex vocabulary of clicks, whistles, and body language. They use tactical deception, sending one member of the pack to flush prey toward an ambush, or feigning injury to lure curious juveniles away from the safety of the herd. They are tool users, breaking off sharp-edged stones to dig out burrowing prey, or using branches to probe the deep, tangled roots where small mammals hide. And then there are the Troodontids, the true intellectuals of the dinosaur world. If any dinosaur were to evolve human-like intelligence, it would be them. The Troodontids have always been different. Even in the Cretaceous, they possessed the largest brain-to-body ratio of any non-avian dinosaur with cerebral hemispheres folded into complex patterns that suggest advanced cognitive functions. In the Miocene, with the rise of the open plains and the demands of social hunting, tool use, and long-term memory, their minds have flourished. Let your gaze fall upon a Troodontid family group, moving through the tall grass at dusk. They are small, no larger than a modern deer, but their presence is electric. Their bodies are fully feathered, their plumage a mix of earth-toned browns and grays patterned in disruptive stripes that break up their outlines in the flickering light. Their hands are their greatest innovation. Unlike the fixed, two-fingered claws of most theropods, their fingers are long, flexible, and fully opposable, capable of precise manipulation. They use them to craft simple tools, sharp-edged stones for cutting, sturdy branches for digging, even woven nests of grass and twigs for shelter. Their eyes are huge, their pupils capable of dilating to near full darkness, to gather every photon of light in the moonlit savanna. They are nocturnal hunters, moving through the shadows with silent, ghostly grace, their feathers muffling even the slightest rustle of grass. But it is their social structure that truly sets them apart. They live in extended family groups, led by an alpha pair and their offspring. They communicate with a complex vocabulary of calls, short, sharp alarm barks for predators, low purring trills for reassurance, even melodic, bird-like songs that carry across plains at dawn and dusk. They teach their young. A mother troodontid will demonstrate how to crack open a tough-shelled fruit with a stone, then watch as her offspring mimics her movements. They mourn their dead gathering around a fallen packmate with quiet, subdued vocalizations, their feathers ruffled in what almost seems like grief. And perhaps most remarkably, they dream. Neurological studies of their closest modern relatives, birds like crows and parrots, suggest that troodontids would have experienced REM sleep, their brains processing the events of the day, consolidating memories, perhaps even imagining possibilities. Imagine one now, curled in its nest of soft grass, its breath slow and steady, its eyes flicker beneath closed lids, its claws twitch. Is it remembering the hunt? Is it planning tomorrow's path? Or is it in some small wordless way wondering? We will never know. But as the stars emerge in the vast dark sky above the Miocene plains, it is impossible not to feel a quiet, profound kinship with these creatures. They are not human. They will never build cities, or write poetry, or ask the great existential questions. And yet, They asterisk think, they asterisk learn, they asterisk care. In this world, they are the closest thing to asterisk ascent. Breathe in the cool, crisp air. The Miocene is drawing to a close. The grasslands have spread across the continents, reshaping the lives of every creature that walks, flies, or swims. The dinosaurs have adapted, diversified, asterisk triumphed. But the Earth is changing once more. Far to the south, the ice sheets of Antarctica have thickened. The asterisk Drake Passage is now a deep, frigid channel, and the asterisk Antarctic circumpolar current races unchecked around the frozen continent, locking it in perpetual winter. To the north, the asterisk Arctic Ocean is cooling, its surface waters growing heavier, sinking into the abyss and altering the great conveyor belt of global currents. The asterisk Pleistocene Ice Age is coming, and with it, a challenge unlike any the dinosaurs have faced before. Let your body release every remaining thread of tension. Feel the weight of the blanket as a gentle, warm pressure against your skin. Feel the pillow cradling your head like the soft palm of an ancient hand. We are traveling forward now, crossing the final threshold of the Miocene, and stepping into the most dramatic climatic regime the Earth has experienced in the last 65 million years, the Pleistocene. 2.6 million years ago, the Earth crosses a line. Not a line drawn by any hand, but a line drawn by the slow, unyielding mathematics of orbital mechanics, atmospheric chemistry, and the geometry of continental drift. The ice sheets that have been growing on Antarctica for tens of millions of years now reach a critical mass. They spill off the continental shelf and begin their slow, grinding advance across the southern oceans. But the southern ice is only the beginning. To the north, the Arctic Ocean is cooling. The warm, salty surface waters that once kept the north temperate are growing heavier, denser, sinking into the deep abyss and pulling cold water up from below. The Gulf Stream weakens. The heat transport from the tropics to the poles falters. And in the high latitudes of North America, Europe, and Asia, the first true asterisk glaciers begin to form. Imagine standing on a vast, windswept plain in what will one day be called northern Canada. It is autumn. The air is sharp, clean, and carries the first faint whisper of something new. A cold that is not the gentle cool of a winter evening, but a deep, penetrating chill that speaks of permanence. The sky is a pale, steel gray, heavy with clouds that hold their moisture close, and then, without warning, the first snowflake falls. It lands on the back of your hand. It is small, perfect, a tiny hexagonal crystal of ice that melts almost instantly against the warmth of your skin. But another follows, and another. And within minutes, the entire world is wrapped in a soft, silent, white blanket. This is not a storm. This is not a blizzard. This is the asterisk beginning of an ice age, a slow geological exhale that will last for over 2 million years, pulsing in rhythmic cycles of advance and retreat, each one lasting roughly 100,000 years, each one reshaping the face of the planet. The Pleistocene has begun, and the dinosaurs are about to face their greatest test. Breathe in slowly. Feel the cool air fill your lungs, clean and sharp as mountain water. Let it out with a long, slow exhale, and with it, release the last traces of wakefulness. We are going to spend a long time here, in this frozen world, because there is so much beauty in the ice, so much wonder in the way life adapts to the cold. Let us understand the mechanics of what is happening. The Earth's orbit around the Sun is not a perfect circle. It is a slight ellipse, and its shape changes over time. A cycle known as asterisk eccentricity, lasting roughly 100,000 years. At the same time, the Earth's axial tilt, the angle at which the planet leans relative to its orbital plane, wobbles back and forth over a cycle of about 41,000 years. And the direction the Earth's axis points, the asterisk precession, traces a slow circle over roughly 26,000 years. These three cycles, known collectively as asterisk Milankovitch cycles, act as the metronome of the ice ages. When they align in certain configurations, the northern hemisphere receives less summer sunlight. The winters are longer. The snow does not fully melt. It accumulates, year after year, compressing under its own weight into dense blue glacial ice. The ice sheets grow. They spread southward, grinding the bedrock beneath them into fine powder, carving valleys into U-shapes, pushing enormous boulders ahead of them like slow-moving ships. At the peak of a glacial maximum, the ice covers nearly a third of the Earth's land surface. North America is buried under a sheet of ice 3 kilometers thick, stretching from the Arctic to roughly the latitude of modern-day Chicago. Europe is similarly buried. The sea levels drop by over 100 meters as the water is locked into the expanding ice caps, exposing vast dry land bridges. Beringia connects Siberia to Alaska. The British Isles are joined to the continent. Southeast Asia is a single massive peninsula, and yet, and this is the crucial point, the ice does not kill everything. It reshapes. It compresses. It forces adaptation. And the dinosaurs, after 230 million years of surviving every conceivable challenge, are not about to be stopped by a little cold. Let your mind drift to the edge of the great northern ice sheet, roughly 20,000 years ago, at the height of the last glacial maximum. The wind howls across the frozen tundra, a low constant moan that carries tiny crystals of ice like sand. The temperature hovers around -40 degrees Celsius. The sun, when it appears at all, is a pale, distant disk low on the horizon, offering light but almost no warmth, and yet life is here. Out of the swirling white mist emerges a shape so massive, so impossible, that it seems like a creature from a fever dream. It is a ceratopsian, but not the sleek horned grazer of the Miocene grasslands. This is something else entirely. This is a creature forged by the ice. Let your mind trace its form. It stands over 4 meters at the shoulder, its body a massive, barrel-shaped fortress of muscle and fat. Its weight exceeds 9 tons. Every inch of its body, from the tip of its broad, shovel-like nose to the end of its thick, powerful tail, is covered in a dense, shaggy coat of modified protofeathers. These are not the smooth, streamlined feathers of a flying pterosaur or a warm climate troodontid. These are thick, coarse, hollow filaments, a living parka, layered in multiple depths, each one trapping a pocket of warm air against the skin. The outer layer is long and bristling, shedding snow and ice with every shake of the massive head. The underlayer is a soft, velvety down so dense that it would feel like touching a cloud. Its color is not the vivid green or brown of its tropical ancestors. It is pale, a mix of dirty white, ash gray, and faint dusty blue, blending perfectly with the frozen landscape. Only its eyes betray any sign of life, large, dark, and warm, set deep beneath heavy, bony brow ridges that shield them from the blinding glare of sunlight reflecting off the snow. Its horns have changed. The long, sweeping brow horns of the Miocene are gone, replaced by short, thick, blunt-tipped spikes, practical weapons for shoving through deep snowdrifts to reach the dormant vegetation below, and for sparring with rivals during the brief, intense mating season. Its frill has thickened into a solid muscular shield, heavily vascularized, capable of flushing with blood to radiate excess heat during the rare, warm afternoons of summer. Watch as it feeds. It lowers its massive head, using its broad, keratinous beak to scrape away the top layer of snow, exposing the tough, dormant grasses and sedges beneath. Its ever-growing dental batteries grind through the frozen vegetation with a slow, powerful, rhythmic crunch. It eats constantly, up to 200 kilograms of food per day, because in this environment, every calorie is a matter of survival. Its massive gut is a fermentation vat, housing billions of symbiotic bacteria that break down the tough cellulose into usable energy. It is joined by others, a herd of perhaps 30 individuals, moving slowly across the frozen plain in a loose, protective formation. The juveniles walk in the center, shielded by the massive flanks of the adults. Their coats are even thicker, their bodies rounder, their movements slower and more deliberate. They do not run. Running wastes energy. They walk steadily, endlessly, following the ancient migratory routes that their ancestors have traced for millions of years. This is the mammoth steppe, but there are no mammoths here. There are no woolly rhinos, no cave bears, no giant ground sloths. There is only the ceratopsian, the hadrosaur, and the great feathered theropods moving across the frozen world like living mountains, their breath forming vast, billowing clouds in the frigid air. Let your awareness shift from the grazers to the hunters, because even in this frozen hellscape, the predators are out there, patient and lethal. Emerging from behind a ridge of wind-sculpted ice is a pack of Pleistocene tyrannosauroids. They are the apex predators of this world, and they are terrifying. They are smaller than their Cretaceous ancestors, perhaps 5 meters long, weighing 3 tons, but they are leaner, faster, and infinitely more intelligent. Their bodies are covered in a thick white and gray coat of dense feathers that renders them nearly invisible against the snow. Their eyes are large, forward-facing, their pupils dilated wide to gather every scrap of light in the dim, polarized glare of the Arctic winter. They move in a tight, strategic formation across the frozen plain, their breathing deep and steady, their footprints filling instantly with fresh snow. They are tracking the ceratopsian herd. They have been following it for 3 days, resting in shifts, conserving every calorie. They do not rush. They do not panic. They wait. Their social structure is complex, hierarchical, and deeply cooperative. The alpha female leads the hunt, her movements precise and economical. She communicates with a series of low, infrasonic rumbles that travel through the frozen ground, felt by every member of the pack. When she signals the attack, it is not a chaotic charge. It is a coordinated multi-phase assault. The fastest members of the pack, the young, the lean, the hungry, sweep wide, driving the herd toward a natural bottleneck, a narrow ravine flanked by steep, icy walls. The flankers take up positions at the ravine's mouth, cutting off escape. The alpha and her two most experienced hunters approach from the front, their bodies low, their eyes locked on the largest, most vulnerable target, a juvenile ceratopsian that has fallen slightly. Behind the herd, the attack lasts less than a minute. It is brutal, efficient, and silent. The juvenile is pulled down by the combined weight of 3 predators. The herd does not stop. It cannot afford to stop. The surviving members continue their slow, relentless march across the frozen plain, their breath rising in unison like the exhaust of a great living engine. After the kill, the pack feeds in a specific order. Alpha first, then the breeding females, then the juveniles, and finally the low-ranking males. This is not cruelty. It is asterisk mathematics. Every calorie must be allocated to the individuals most likely to ensure the pack's survival. The weak do not eat. The strong endure. This is the logic of the ice. But the tyrannosauroids are not the only predators on the snow. Moving through the blizzard with eerie, ghost-like silence is a pack of asterisk large dromaeosaurids, the raptors, now fully evolved into the asterisk Arctic wolves of this world. They are smaller than the tyrannosauroids, perhaps 2.5 meters long, but they are asterisk faster, more agile, and far more numerous. Their feathers are incredibly dense, a double layer of insulation that traps so much air that they appear almost asterisk spherical when at rest, their bodies tucked into tight feathery balls to conserve heat. Their claws are larger, more curved, designed for gripping the icy ground and for pinning prey that slips on the frozen surface. They hunt asterisk smaller prey, the fast-running ornithomimosaurs, the small burrowing mammals that dart beneath the snow, the juvenile hadrosaurs that stray too far from the herd. They use a strategy called asterisk Perninen hunting, chasing their quarry for hours, sometimes over entire days, never giving up, never stopping, until the prey collapses from pure, absolute exhaustion. Their pack structure is even more complex than that of the tyrannosauroids. They operate in groups of 15 to 20, with a strict asterisk dominance hierarchy, maintained through subtle displays of feather posture, vocalizations, and occasional, ritualized combat. They asterisk share food with packmates who have failed to hunt, a behavior that ensures the survival of the group even when individual hunts fail. In the deepest part of the Arctic winter, when the sun does not rise for weeks and the temperature plummets to -50, these raptors do something remarkable. They enter a state of asterisk torpor. Their metabolic rate drops dramatically. Their heart rate slows. They huddle together in deep snowdrifts. Their bodies press close, sharing warmth, surviving on stored fat until the light returns. They are not just surviving, they are asterisk thriving. Let your mind travel south now, away from the ice, across thousands of miles of frozen tundra and steaming forests, to a place where the world has barely changed at all. Deep in the heart of the Amazon basin, in what will one day be called Brazil, the asterisk tropical refugium persists. Here, the climate is warm, wet, and stable. The forests are dense, ancient, and untouched by the glaciers. The air is thick with the sound of insects, birds, and the distant rumbling calls of giants. This is where the asterisk old world survives. The lineages that were common in the Cretaceous, the asterisk sauropods, the asterisk giant marine reptiles, the asterisk primitive theropods, have persisted here, isolated from the pressures of the Ice Age, evolving in their own quiet, unhurried way. Imagine a herd of asterisk dwarf sauropods, descendants of the great titans, but reduced by the limited resources of the forest to a mere 15 meters in length. They browse the high canopy, their long necks reaching into the emergent layer where the sunlight is brightest. Their skin is patterned in vivid greens and browns, perfect camouflage among the leaves. They are slow, peaceful, and utterly content. In the rivers, asterisk mosasaur patrol the warm waters, their sleek bodies cutting through the dark, tannin-stained current. They are smaller than their oceanic cousins, but no less deadly. They hunt fish, turtles, and the occasional unlucky primate that ventures too close to the water's edge. And in the trees high above the forest floor, a small group of asterisk primate-like mammals watches the world with wide, curious eyes. They are the descendants of the tiny, nocturnal creatures that scurried beneath the feet of the dinosaurs for 66 million years. They have grown slightly larger, perhaps the size of a modern squirrel monkey, but they are still small, still cautious, still living in the vertical world of the canopy, far above the reach of the ground-dwelling giants. They are intelligent, they are adaptable, but they are not dominant. They know their place. And in this world, that place is asterisk in the trees, in the shadows, in the quiet spaces between the thunder of larger lives. These refugia are the asterisk arcs of the old world. When the ice retreats, species will spill out from these pockets, recolonizing the northern continents, bringing with them the genetic diversity that fuels the next cycle of evolution. The refugia are not dead ends. They are asterisk seeds waiting for the thaw. Let your awareness sink beneath the surface of the cold, dark sea. The oceans have changed too. During the glacial maxima, sea levels drop by over 100 meters. The continental shelves are exposed, creating vast dry plains of hard-packed sediment. The coastlines recede by dozens of kilometers. Shallow seas vanish entirely, replaced by windswept, frozen tundra. But the deep oceans are warmer than you might expect. The thermohaline circulation, the great global conveyor belt of warm and cold water, has slowed, but it has not stopped. Warm water still flows northward along the surface, cooling as it goes, sinking in the north, and returning southward along the abyssal floor. This deep, cold current carries nutrients from the seafloor to the surface, fueling massive blooms of plankton that support entire food webs. The asterisk mosasaurs of the deep ocean have adapted to the cold. Their bodies are thicker, their blubber layers denser. Some lineages have become asterisk filter feeders, their teeth reduced to fine, comb-like structures that strain krill and small fish from the water, much like the baleen whales of our timeline. The largest of these filter-feeding mosasaurs reach lengths of asterisk 30 meters, the biggest animals alive on the planet, larger than any blue whale, their bodies supported by the buoyancy of the water that would crush them on land. They breach the surface on calm days, their massive bodies arcing into the air before crashing back down with a thunderous splash that sends waves rippling across the gray sea. They are the asterisk leviathans of this world, the sovereigns of the deep, and they have no natural enemies. The asterisk plesiosaurs have diversified into dozens of species. Some are small, agile hunters of the coastal shelves, darting after fish and squid in the shallow, sunlit waters. Others are massive, slow-moving bottom feeders, their long necks sweeping the seafloor like living vacuum cleaners, sucking up clouds of sediment and extracting the tiny organisms within. And in the deep trenches, where the light never reaches, the asterisk ancient lineages persist. Giant, soft-bodied cephalopods, descendants of the ammonites, drift through the abyssal darkness, their bioluminescent bodies flashing in patterns that may be communication, may be lure, may be something we will never understand. The oceans are full, the oceans are alive, the oceans do not care about the ice. Let us return to the land, and to the creatures that have been quietly, persistently surviving in the shadows for 230 million years. Asterisk. The mammals. In our timeline, the extinction of the dinosaurs was the event that allowed mammals to explode into every available niche. Without that event, they remain what they have always been. Asterisk small, nocturnal, and ecologically marginals. But marginal does not mean insignificant. In the Pleistocene world, the mammals have diversified into thousands of species, each one filling a narrow, specialized niche that the dinosaurs have no interest in occupying. The asterisk nocturnal niche is theirs. The asterisk burrowing niche is theirs. The asterisk arboreal niche, the high canopy, far above the reach of even the largest ground predators, is theirs. Imagine a small, furry creature, a descendant of the ancient Didelphodon, emerging from its burrow on a cold Pleistocene night. It is the size of a modern rat, covered in thick, insulating fur. Its eyes are enormous, adapted for gathering every photon of starlight. Its whiskers twitch as it scans the frozen landscape for movement. It is an asterisk scavenger. It feeds on the carcasses left behind by the great predators. The bones, the marrow, the scraps of meat that the tyrannosauroids and dromaeosaurids have abandoned. It is not glamorous work, but it is asterisk reliable. The giants always leave something behind. In the deep burrows beneath the frozen tundra, entire asterisk communities of small mammals survive the winter. They huddle together for warmth, their metabolic rates suppressed, their hearts beating slowly. They live on stored fat and the occasional root or tuber pulled from the frozen earth. They do not see the sun for months. They do not need to. They have everything they need in the dark, warm, quiet world beneath the ice. And in the tropical refugia, the primates have evolved into something remarkable. They are larger now, perhaps the size of a modern capuchin monkey, and their brains have grown. They live in complex social groups, using tools, communicating with a sophisticated vocal language, displaying behaviors that suggest asterisk culture, the passing of learned behaviors from one generation to the next. But they are not dominant. They know this. They live in the trees, eating fruit and insects, watching the dinosaurs below with a mixture of awe and wariness. They are the asterisk witnesses of this world, the quiet observers of a drama they will never star in. And perhaps that is not a tragedy. Perhaps it is an asterisk gift. To live in a world of giants, to watch the thunder of their footsteps and feel the tremor of their calls, to know that you are small but safe, hidden but alive. This is not a lesser existence. It is an asterisk different one, and it has its own quiet, profound beauty. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the rhythm of your breath match the rhythm of the glacial cycle. The Pleistocene is not a static frozen world. It asterisk pulses. Every 100,000 years, the ice advances. Every 100,000 years, the ice retreats. The glaciers grind forward, carving valleys, pushing boulders, locking millions of cubic kilometers of water into ice. Then, slowly, the orbit shifts. The summer sun grows stronger, and the ice begins to melt. The glaciers retreat. The sea levels rise. The forests creep northward. The herds follow. This cycle repeats asterisk 20 times over the course of the Pleistocene. 20 advances, 20 retreats, each one reshaping the world, each one testing the limits of every living creature. And every single time, the dinosaurs endure. They do not need to be the smartest. They do not need to be the fastest. They do not need to build tools or write symbols or ask questions about the nature of the universe. They need only to be asterisk adaptable. And after 230 million years of proving their adaptability, they are the most resilient lineage the Earth has ever produced. The ice comes. The ice goes. The dinosaurs remain. Let your mind settle into the final quiet moment of our journey. We have traveled from the asteroid that missed, through the green hothouse of the Eocene, across the opening grasslands of the Miocene, and into the frozen kingdoms of the Pleistocene. We have watched the dinosaurs adapt, diversify, conquer, and endure. Now let us step forward one final time. Let us cross the last glacial maximum and arrive at the asterisk present day, or rather the present day of this timeline. It is roughly the year 2026 in our counting. But in this world, there are no calendars, there are no cities, there are no lights burning in the darkness. Stand on a hilltop in what was once North America. Look out across the landscape. The ice has retreated, the forests have returned. The Great Plains stretch to the horizon, golden and green, rippling in the warm wind. But the animals on those plains are not the animals of our world. In the distance, a herd of asterisk ceratopsians grazes, massive shaggy-coated descendants of the great Triceratops, their horns blunt and practical, their frills thick with blood vessels, their bodies insulated against the lingering chill of the northern spring. They move slowly, deliberately, their heads rising and falling in a rhythm as old as the hills. Above them, asterisk pterosaurs soar on thermal currents, not the giants of the Cretaceous, but smaller, more agile descendants, their wingspans reduced to 6 or 7 meters, their bodies covered in sleek, wind-smoothed feathers. They circle the herds, watching for weakness, for injury, for the young that stray too far. On the ground, a pack of asterisk dromaeosaurids moves through the tall grass, their feathers rippling in the wind, their eyes scanning the horizon. They are the hunters, the wolves, the relentless pursuers. They will run their prey to exhaustion. They will kill with precision and patience. They will feed their young and teach them to hunt. And the cycle will continue. And in the deep forest, high in the canopy, a small furry primate sits on a branch, eating a ripe fruit, watching the world below with large, intelligent, unblinking eyes. It does not know what a city is. It does not know what a rocket is. It does not know that in another timeline, its descendants would walk on the moon. It only knows the forest, the fruit, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind, and that is enough. Let your body go completely limp now. Feel the bed beneath you as if it were a warm, soft cloud suspended in an endless, quiet sky. Your breathing is slow, deep, and perfectly even. Each exhale carries away the last fragments of thought, the last whispers of the waking world. There is nothing left to hold on to. There is only the sound of my voice, and the vast, ancient darkness behind it. We have traveled together through 230 million years of unbroken life. We have watched the forests grow and the forests fall. We have felt the heat of the hothouse and the bite of the ice. We have stood beside giants and hidden in the shadows of small, warm things. And now at last we arrive at the end of our journey. The present, not our present. Not the world of screens and engines and endless aching noise. The present of the unbroken epoch. The world as it is today, 66 million years after the asteroid missed. In a year we might call 2026, if we were the kind of creatures who counted such things. But we are not, and that is the point. Step with me now, one final time, onto a hilltop. Stand there, look out. Let your eyes adjust to the soft pre-dawn light. Let the air fill your lungs, warm, sweet, thick with the scent of living things. This is the world. This is what it looks like when no one is in charge. Let us begin where all journeys of life begin. On the ancient continent of Africa, the geography is familiar. The same mountains, the same rivers, the same coastlines that you would recognize from any atlas of our world. The Great Rift Valley still splits the continent like a wound. its deep, volcanic lakes shimmering in the early light. Mount Kilimanjaro rises in the east, its snow-capped peak glowing pink in the dawn. The Congo Basin stretches to the west, a vast, unbroken sea of green. But the animals are not the animals you know. Stand on the edge of the Serengeti, or what would be the Serengeti if anyone had named it. Before you stretches the greatest grassland on Earth, a rolling golden ocean of savanna grass that stretches to the horizon in every direction. The wind moves through it in long, slow waves, creating patterns that shift and shimmer like the surface of a living sea. And on this sea, the herds move. They are not wildebeest. They are not zebra. They are ceratopsians, the great horned grazers that have dominated the African plains for millions of years. But they have changed. They are not the sleek tropical browsers of the Miocene. These are cold-adapted, woolly-coated giants, their bodies massive and barrel-shaped, their legs thick and powerful, their heads crowned with short, blunt horns and heavy shield-like frills. The largest bulls stand nearly 4 meters at the shoulder and weigh over 12 tons. Their coats are thick, shaggy, and pale, a mix of dusty white, ash gray, and faint blue, perfectly camouflaged against the dry golden grass. They move in herds of hundreds, sometimes thousands, their massive bodies creating a slow, rhythmic thunder as they cross the plain. Their breath rises in vast, billowing clouds in the cool morning air. Watch them feed. They lower their heavy heads, using their broad, keratinous beaks to crop the tough grass close to the ground. Their ever-growing dental batteries grind the silica-laced vegetation with a steady, soothing crunch, crunch, crunch that carries across the plain like the sound of a distant, gentle machine. They eat constantly, moving slowly, endlessly, following the rains and the fresh growth in a migration pattern that has persisted for millions of years. Above the herds, the sky is alive. Pterosaurs, not the giants of the Cretaceous, but their modern descendants, soar on the thermals that rise from the warm plain. Their wingspans have reduced to 6 or 7 meters, their bodies sleek and feathered, their beaks long and sharp. They are the vultures and eagles of this world, circling the herds with patient, watchful eyes, waiting for the weak, the injured, the young that stray too far. And among them, sharing the sky, are the birds, the true dinosaurs, the only lineage that survived the asteroid in our timeline and thrived here as well. They are everywhere. Flocks of ground-dwelling birds the size of ostriches, descendants of the giant terror birds, stride through the tall grass, their powerful legs kicking up clouds of dust as they run down small prey. Tiny, iridescent hummingbird-like dinosaurs dart between the flowers of the acacia trees, their wings beating so fast they are invisible, their long beaks probing deep into the blossoms for nectar. The predators are here too. Emerging from the shadow of a distant kopje is a pack of African tyrannosauroids, lean, feathered, and utterly lethal. They are smaller than their northern cousins, perhaps 4 meters long, but they are faster, more agile, and hunting in packs of 8 to 12. Their coats are tawny, blending with the dry grass, their eyes burning with a cold, focused intelligence. They move across the plain in a loose, strategic formation, their breathing synchronized, their footsteps silent on the hard earth. They are tracking a lone juvenile ceratopsian that has fallen behind the herd. They do not rush. They wait. They calculate. They communicate with low, infrasonic rumbles that travel through the ground. When the moment comes, it is over in seconds. The pack strikes from 3 directions simultaneously. The juvenile is pulled down by the combined weight of 6 predators. The herd does not stop. It cannot afford to stop. The thunder of their hooves fades into the distance, and the plain is quiet again. But the quiet does not last. The scavengers arrive, small, fast, fearless. Dromaeosaurids, the raptors, descend on the carcass with terrifying efficiency, their sickle claws tearing through hide and muscle. They eat quickly, competing with each other in a frantic, noisy scramble that lasts only minutes. Then they are gone, vanished into the tall grass, leaving nothing but clean, white bones gleaming in the morning sun. South of the savannah, the Congo rainforest persists, a vast ancient cathedral of green. Here, the world is unchanged. The canopy is so thick that the forest floor exists in permanent twilight, lit only by shafts of golden light that pierce the gaps in the leaves. The air is hot, wet, and thick with the sound of life, the buzzing of insects, the chattering of small primates, the deep, resonant calls of animals you cannot see. The trees are enormous, ancient hardwoods and towering ferns that reach 50 meters into the canopy. Their trunks are covered in mosses, orchids, and climbing vines. Epiphytes hang from every branch, creating a second, floating forest in the air above the ground. Moving through this green labyrinth are the arboreal ceratopsians, smaller, lighter, more agile than their savanna cousins. They have lost their massive frills and heavy horns, replaced by sleek, streamlined bodies covered in bright, patterned feathers. They climb the trees with surprising grace, using their prehensile tails and grasping hands to pull themselves up the trunks, feeding on the tender leaves and fruit of the high canopy. And in the highest branches, barely visible, are the asterisk small theropods, the troodontids, the last and finest flower of dinosaurian intelligence. They are the size of cats, covered in soft, iridescent feathers, their eyes huge and luminous in the dim light. They move silently through the branches, their long, dexterous fingers plucking fruit, cracking nuts with stones, building small, intricate nests of woven grass. They are the closest thing this world has to a philosopher. They watch, they learn, they remember. And in the deep, quiet hours of the night, when the forest settles into its ancient rhythm, they dream. Let your mind drift north now, across the warm seas, to the vast continent of Eurasia. The landscape here is wilder, harsher, more dramatic. The Himalayas rise like a wall of stone and ice, their peaks lost in the clouds, their slopes covered in ancient conifer forests that have clung to the mountains for millions of years. The Tibetan Plateau stretches to the west, a high, cold desert where the air is thin and the wind never stops. But the heart of Eurasia is the asterisk steppe, an endless, wind-swept grassland that stretches from the shores of the Atlantic to the Pacific, covering thousands of kilometers of flat, open terrain. This is the domain of the great migratory herds, the wolves of the snow, and the silent, feathered hunters. In the northern reaches, near the Arctic Circle, the asterisk woolly ceratopsians dominate. They are the largest land animals alive, exceeding 15 tons in weight, their bodies covered in thick, shaggy coats of pale, insulating feathers. Their horns are short and blunt, their frills reduced to heavy, muscular shields. They move in herds of hundreds, their breath rising in vast clouds, their footsteps shaking the frozen ground. They are the mammoths of this world, but they are not mammoths. They are dinosaurs, and they have been dinosaurs for 230 million years. Their predators are the asterisk Arctic tyrannosauroids, white-feathered, silent, and terrifyingly efficient. They hunt in packs, using coordinated relay tactics to exhaust their massive prey. They can bring down a full-grown woolly ceratopsian through sheer, relentless persistence, running it for hours across the frozen plain until it collapses from exhaustion. To the south, the steppe gives way to asterisk temperate woodlands, forests of oak, birch, and pine that stretch across Europe and Central Asia. These are the home of the asterisk hadrosaurs, the duck-billed dinosaurs, now fully adapted to life in the cool, seasonal forests. They are massive, barrel-bodied grazers, their bodies covered in smooth, contour-feathered plumage that changes color with the seasons, dark brown in summer, pale gray in winter. Their dental batteries are among the most sophisticated in the animal kingdom. Hundreds of interlocking teeth grind the tough vegetation with mechanical precision, processing food with an efficiency that no mammal could match. They live in large, stable herds, their social bonds reinforced by complex vocalizations and subtle body language. In the forests, the asterisk pterosaurs have diversified into dozens of species. Some are small, insect-eating flyers that dart through the understory like hummingbirds. Others are large, powerful hunters that swoop down on small mammals and lizards from the canopy. The largest of these forest pterosaurs have wingspans of 8 meters, their bodies covered in dark, mottled feathers that blend perfectly with the dappled light of the woodland. And in the rivers and lakes, the asterisk mosasaurs patrol the waters, sleek, powerful, and utterly dominant. They are the sharks of this world, but far larger, far more intelligent, and far more varied. Some are small, agile hunters of the shallow streams. Others are massive, deep-diving predators that patrol the open lakes, their bodies cutting through the dark water with silent, effortless grace. Let us cross the Atlantic now, or rather, the vast open ocean that separates the old world from the new. North America is a continent of extremes. To the north, the great ice sheets still cling to the Arctic, their edges calving into the cold sea. To the south, the tropics blaze with heat and life, and in between, the asterisk Great Plains stretch from the Rocky Mountains to the Mississippi, a vast, golden sea of grass that ripples in the wind like the surface of a living ocean. The plains are the domain of the asterisk American ceratopsians, a lineage that has diverged from their African cousins into dozens of distinct species. Some are small, fast, and agile, built for life in the open grasslands. Others are massive, slow-moving giants, their bodies covered in thick, woolly coats, their horns enormous and curved. The largest of these, the asterisk American woolly ceratopsian, stands over 5 meters at the shoulder and weighs nearly 15 tons. It is the largest land animal on the continent, a living mountain of muscle, bone, and insulating feathers. It migrates in herds of thousands, following the seasonal rains across the vast plain, its footsteps shaking the earth for miles in every direction. Its predators are the asterisk American tyrannosauroids, lean, fast, and devastatingly intelligent. They hunt in packs of 6 to 10, using sophisticated ambush tactics and coordinated flanking maneuvers to bring down prey many times their size. Their brains are among the largest of any non-avian dinosaur, their social structures complex and cooperative. To the west, the asterisk Rocky Mountains rise like a spine of stone, their peaks dusted with snow, their slopes covered in dense conifer forests. Here, the asterisk mountain hadrosaurs live, stocky, powerful grazers adapted to the steep, rocky terrain. Their legs are shorter, their bodies more compact, their claws sharper for gripping the loose scree. They move in small, tight-knit groups, their vocalizations echoing off the canyon walls in long, haunting calls. To the east, the asterisk Appalachian forests stretch from Canada to Georgia, a vast, ancient woodland of hardwood trees and ferns. This is the realm of the asterisk eastern troodontids, the most intelligent dinosaurs in North America. They are small, feathered, and incredibly dexterous, their hands capable of manipulating objects with a precision that rivals any primate. They build nests, they use tools, they teach their young, and at night, they gather in small groups around communal roosts, their soft, melodic calls carrying through the dark forest like the music of a world that never needed words. South of the border, asterisk South America is a continent of isolation and wonder. Separated from the rest of the world by vast oceans for tens of millions of years, it has become a unique evolutionary laboratory. The asterisk Amazon basin is a tropical paradise, a vast unbroken rainforest that covers nearly half the continent. Here, the asterisk old world persists. Sauropods, smaller now, but still magnificent, browse the high canopy, their long necks reaching into the emergent layer. Giant, flightless pterosaurs the size of elephants stalk the forest floor, their massive beaks cracking open nuts and seeds. And in the rivers, asterisk caiman-like mosasaurs patrol the dark, tannin-stained water, their eyes glowing like lanterns in the gloom. The asterisk Andis rise to the west, a towering wall of rock and ice. On their high slopes, the asterisk Andean ceratopsians live, small, hardy, woolly-coated grazers adapted to the thin air and brutal cold. They move in tight herds, their breath-forming clouds in the frigid mountain air, their eyes sharp and watchful for the asterisk Andean raptors, the apex predators of the high peaks, fast, agile, and ruthlessly efficient. And to the south, in the asterisk Patagonian steppe, the winds howl across an endless plain of dry grass. Here, the asterisk Patagonian hadrosaurs roam, massive, barrel-bodied grazers that have evolved to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their coats are thick, their bodies fat, their legs powerful. They move in vast herds, their footsteps creating a low, rhythmic thunder that rolls across the plain like distant drums. Let your mind travel now to the most isolated landmass on Earth, asterisk Australia. Separated from the rest of the world for over 40 million years, Australia has become a truly alien landscape. A continent of bizarre, unique creatures that exist nowhere else on the planet. The interior is a vast red desert, baked by the sun into a landscape of sand dunes and cracked earth. But the coasts are green, wet, and alive. The asterisk eastern rainforests cling to the Great Dividing Range, their canopies thick with ferns, conifers, and flowering trees that have evolved in complete isolation. Here, the dominant grazers are not ceratopsians or hadrosaurs. They are something else entirely, giant, kangaroo-like ornithopods that hop across the forest floor on powerful hind legs, their bodies covered in soft, downy feathers, their tails thick and muscular for balance. They are the size of small elephants, but they move with the bounding, effortless grace of kangaroos, covering vast distances in a single leap. Their predators are the asterisk Australian raptors, large, feathered dromaeosaurids that have evolved into the apex hunters of the continent. They are fast, intelligent, and highly social, hunting in packs of up to 20. They use complex vocalizations to coordinate their attacks, their calls echoing through the forest like the songs of wolves. In the rivers, the asterisk Australian mosasaurs patrol, small, agile, and incredibly fast. They have evolved to hunt in the shallow, murky waters of the continent's many rivers and lakes, their bodies streamlined for speed, their teeth sharp and numerous. And in the trees high above the forest floor, the asterisk Australian troodontids live, small, nocturnal, and remarkably intelligent. They are the primates of this continent, filling the same ecological niche that monkeys and lemurs fill in our world. They are curious, playful, and deeply social, living in complex family groups that communicate with a rich vocabulary of calls and gestures. They do not build cities, they do not write books, but they asterisk think, they asterisk learn, they asterisk remember. And in the quiet, dark hours of the Australian night, they sit on their branches, looking up at the stars, and they asterisk wander. Let your awareness sink now, slowly, gently, beneath the surface of the sea. The oceans of this world are asterisk alive in a way that our oceans are not. There are no nets, there are no sonar pulses. There are no plastic islands floating in the gyres. There is only water and light and the ancient rhythmic pulse of life. In the asterisk shallow tropical seas, the coral reefs are spectacular. Vast, colorful cities of calcium carbonate built by billions of tiny organisms over millions of years. But the reef builders here are not the same as in our world. They are a partnership between coral-like organisms and a unique lineage of asterisk marine dinosaurs. Small, fish-like reptiles that secrete calcium carbonate from their skin, creating living, breathing structures that grow and repair themselves. The reefs teem with life. Schools of fish dart through the coral canyons. Giant mantis-like crustaceans lurk in the crevices. And patrolling the edges of the reef are the asterisk reef mosasaurs, small, agile, brightly colored predators that hunt in the warm, clear water with terrifying speed. In the asterisk open oceans, the giants reign. The asterisk filter-feeding mosasaurs are the largest animals alive, 30 meters long, weighing over 100 tons. They cruise the warm currents of the equatorial oceans, their massive mouths gaping open to strain krill and small fish from the water. They breach the surface on calm days, their bodies arcing into the air before crashing back down with a thunderous splash that sends waves rippling across the gray sea. The asterisk deep ocean is a realm of darkness and mystery. Here, the asterisk giant plesiosaurs patrol the abyssal plains, their long necks sweeping the seafloor like living sensors, detecting the faintest vibrations of prey in the sediment. Bioluminescent organisms drift through the dark like falling stars, their bodies flashing in patterns that may be communication, may be lure, may be something we will never understand. And in the deepest trenches, where the pressure would crush a submarine, the asterisk ancient cephalopods persist. Giant, soft-bodied creatures with tentacles that span meters, their eyes the size of dinner plates, their intelligence as alien and unknowable as the darkness they inhabit. The oceans are full. The oceans are ancient. The oceans do not need us. Let us return one final time to the mammals, the small ones, the hidden ones, the ones who never got their chance. They are everywhere. They are in every continent, every ecosystem, every niche that the dinosaurs have no interest in filling. They are the asterisk nocturnal scavengers, the asterisk burrowing engineers, the asterisk arboreal acrobats, the asterisk seed dispersers. They are the quiet, persistent, endlessly adaptable survivors of a world that was never theirs. In the asterisk African savanna asterisk, small furry mammals emerge from their burrows at night. They are the size of rats and rabbits, covered in thick, insulating fur, their eyes enormous and luminous in the dark. They feed on the scraps left behind by the great predators, the bones, the marrow, the scraps of meat that the tyrannosauroids have abandoned. They are not glamorous, but they are asterisk essential. They are the recyclers, the cleaners, the quiet workers who keep the ecosystem running. In the asterisk Asian forests, the primates have evolved into something remarkable. They are larger now, perhaps the size of modern capuchin monkeys, and their brains have grown significantly. They live in complex social groups, using tools, communicating with a sophisticated vocal language, displaying behaviors that suggest asterisk culture. They crack nuts with stones. They fish for insects with sticks. They groom each other, play with their young, mourn their dead, but they live in the trees. They watch the dinosaurs below with a mixture of awe and wariness. They know their place, and in this world their place is asterisk in the canopy, in the shadows, in the quiet spaces between the thunder of larger lives. In the asterisk deep oceans, a lineage of small mammals has done something extraordinary. They have returned to the sea, not as whales, those never evolved here, but as asterisk otter-like creatures, sleek and furry, diving into the cold waters to hunt fish and crustaceans. They are the asterisk marine mammals of this world, and they are thriving in the deep, cold currents off the coast of Antarctica. Their bodies insulated by thick layers of blubber, their whiskers sensitive to the faintest vibrations in the dark water. They are not rulers, they are not conquerors, they are asterisk survivors. And in a world without humans, survival is not a consolation prize. It is an asterisk victory. Now let us look up. The night sky of this world is asterisk magnificent. There are no cities. There are no streetlights. There are no airplanes cutting white lines across the darkness. There is only the sky and the stars and the slow, silent wheel of the cosmos. The Milky Way stretches across the dome of heaven like a river of light, its billions of stars so dense and so bright that they cast faint shadows on the ground. The constellations are the same constellations that shone on the Cretaceous forest, that watched the asteroid miss, that illuminated the Eocene Hothouse and the Pleistocene ice. They have not changed. They will not change. They are the oldest things in the universe, and they are watching you now. If you lie on the ground, in the grass, in the quiet, you can feel the earth turning beneath you. You can feel the slow, deep pulse of the planet. The tides, the wind, the heartbeat of a world that has been alive for 4.5 billion years. And if you listen very carefully, in the space between the crickets and the wind, you might hear something else. A low, distant rumble. The sound of a herd of ceratopsians moving across the plain in the dark. The cry of a pterosaur circling overhead. The soft melodic call of a troodontid singing to its mate in the forest. The world is alive. The world is singing. And you are listening. Let your breathing slow to its deepest, most gentle rhythm. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Let the numbers dissolve. Let the counting stop. There is only the breath, and the darkness, and the ancient quiet voice that carries you towards sleep. We have reached the end of our journey. 230 million years, traversed in words and silence. And now, in this final moment, we must face the question that has been waiting for us since the very beginning. Why does this matter? Why does it matter that the asteroid missed? Why does it matter that the dinosaurs survived? Why does it matter that we are lying here, in the dark, listening to a story about a world that never was? Because it teaches us something about ourselves. We are the creatures who arrived by accident. We are the ones who benefited from a rock falling from the sky. We are the contingency, the improbable, lucky, fragile accident that turned a world of reptiles into a world of primates, of cities, of rockets, of podcasts, of sleep scripts about dinosaurs. And when we imagine a world without that accident, a world where the rock missed, where the dinosaurs survived, where the mammals stayed small, we are not imagining a tragedy. We are imagining an different kind of beauty. A beauty without self-awareness. A beauty without art. A beauty without the capacity to look up at the stars and wonder what they are. But a beauty that is complete. A beauty that does not need an observer to be beautiful. A beauty that simply is in all its savage, glorious, indifferent perfection. The dinosaurs did not ask why they existed. They did not wonder about the asteroid that might have ended them. They did not write poems about the sunset or build monuments to their dead. They simply lived. They ate, they fought, they mated, they migrated, they endured. And in the end, that is what life does. It endures. We are the strange ones. We are the ones who broke the pattern. We are the ones who looked at the world and said, this is not enough. I want to understand it. I want to name it. I want to change it. And we did. We changed everything. We burned the forests. We drained the swamps. We drove the giants to extinction. We filled the sky with smoke and the oceans with plastic. We built a world of noise and light and endless, aching want. But in this other world, the unbroken world, none of that happened. The forests are still standing. The oceans are still clean. The sky is still dark at night, and the stars are still bright. And the dinosaurs are still dreaming. Here is the strange, uncomfortable truth that this entire journey has been building toward. We should be grateful for the asteroid. Not because the extinction was good. Not because the death of the dinosaurs was a necessary step, but because the alternative, this world, the unbroken world, is beautiful. Yes, but it is incomplete. It lacks the one thing that makes our world, for all its flaws, extraordinary, consciousness. The capacity to know that you exist, to look at a sunset and feel awe, to hear a story about dinosaurs and feel your eyes grow heavy with sleep. The troodontids of the Miocene may have been intelligent. They may have dreamed, but they did not know they were dreaming. They did not lie in the dark and think, I am alive, and this is wonderful, and I am afraid of the dark, and I hope tomorrow is kind. We do. We are the only creatures in the history of the earth who can do that, and it is both our greatest gift and our heaviest burden. So when you lie here, in the dark, listening to the sound of my voice, remember this. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not a cosmic afterthought. You are the result of 230 million years of unbroken life. Of every asteroid that hit and every one that missed, of every ice age and every hothouse, of every extinction and every radiation. You are the endpoint of a story that began in a warm, shallow sea, in the dark, before there was light, and you are here, and you are breathing, and you are alive. That is not a small thing. That is the largest thing. The last breath before sleep. Let your body go completely still now. Feel the weight of the blanket. Feel the softness of the pillow. Feel the warmth of your own breath. Rising and falling, like the tide of an ancient, endless sea. The world outside is dark, the stars are shining. The dinosaurs are dreaming in their nests, in their dens, in the deep water. The mammals are sleeping in their burrows, their trees, their hidden places. The wind is blowing across the grasslands. The rivers are flowing to the sea. The earth is turning slowly, silently, carrying you through the night. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to be anything. You do not need to understand anything. You only need to be here, to breathe, to rest, to let the story carry you down, down, down into the deep, warm, ancient dark where everything is quiet and everything is safe. The unbroken epoch continues. The song of life plays on. The dinosaurs are dreaming. The mammals are dreaming. The stars are watching. And you are dreaming too. Sleep now. The earth will still be here when you wake. The grass will still be green. The wind will still blow. The stars will still shine. And somewhere, in a world that never was, a troodontid curls up in its nest of soft grass, its eyes flickering beneath closed lids, its claws twitching. It is dreaming of something. We will never know what, but it is dreaming, and so are you. Good night.